Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. This is
Joe Knows Movies. All right, I'm going to talk about Birds of Prey because this is a movie that needs to be talked about. Holy shit. So I'm a brain refresher kind of guy. So when I'm going to see something that's a sequel, spin-off, prequel, whatever, I usually want to watch something that led up to it beforehand, you know. So for this one, I watched Suicide Squad right before we went and saw Birds of Prey. Because even though I'm not a fan of Suicide Squad, like when I first saw it, I mean, the movie is one of those films that gets worse every time you see it because you just see more of just the bad up and down writing and just wasted characters and opportunities that just, you know, and I think one of the biggest problems too about Suicide Squad is trying to humanize major villains. That is a huge failure, and it just doesn't stay true to the characters in that way, you know. So I watched the movie and I had fun with it. There's still some fun stuff in Suicide Squad, but I'm never going to be a huge fan. And hopefully when James Gunn finishes doing this Suicide Squad, you know, redo or sequel or whatever you want to call it, which he's in the middle of filming as we speak, or as I think that, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. It really is, because I think of course he's got a great beat on doing all this stuff with Guardians of the Galaxy and everything like that. So bring it on. Now with this movie, the trailers for it, they looked interesting. They looked definitely colorful. It looked like it might be fun, but I wasn't sure how much because I wasn't a big fan of the co-star cast, you know, just from the outlook before even seeing the film. I just saw it. I saw it as, you know, this looks like it's going to be a Harley Quinn vehicle with some other characters in it. And that's actually essentially what this movie boils down to being. This is a Harley Quinn movie. This is not a Birds of Prey movie. It says it is, but it isn't. It's got Birds of Prey connections. It's got Birds of Prey characters, but it does not do them. It doesn't do them at all. And I don't know anything about Birds of Prey. I didn't even know it was a comic book until this movie was announced or whatever. I didn't even know, you know, how deep, you know, the story, the mythology goes or anything. But I will say this, calling it Birds of Prey and not making this a Birds of Prey movie is a disservice to the comic, because even though I know nothing about it, calling it one thing and then making it something completely different, that's just not right. So they shouldn't have called this movie Birds of Prey. They should have called it, they should have just called it Harley Quinn meets the Birds of Prey or something. They could have given it some goofy, you know, 66 Batman title or some shit to it, right? They could have done something fun with it. But if they're going to do Birds of Prey, everybody should have had equal go. And here's the problem, though. Harley Quinn is great. Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn is great. She owns the role. She's fun. She's energetic. She brings life to this character. She makes this character be a believable real life character. Okay. Even though she's an exaggeration, but that's fine. That's the point of the character. But if you're going to make a movie with Harley Quinn, you got to do more than what they did here. Okay. And another important thing is there is a specific reason why Harley Quinn is a side character and not a main character for the most part in anything you see her in. She's always there for a little bit and then she leaves, because when it comes to Harley Quinn, the character goes a long way. You only need little doses here and there. To have her control an entire 2-hour film or near a 2-hour film, for the most part, is asking a lot of the audience. And me, I like Harley Quinn. I actually like Harley Quinn a lot, but she cannot carry this entire film. Margot Robbie, great actress. We've loved her in I, Tonya and other things we've seen her in, but still, this character can only do so much before it becomes annoying. And her character does wear out her welcome, even though she's still one of the best things in this movie. So that's a bold statement on my part, because what else does this movie have to offer? It doesn't have much to offer other than Harley Quinn and some cool production design. What do you have? You have Ewan McGregor, you have Ewan McGregor, all right, who at first glance, he seems like a great villain. He's fucking hilarious when it comes to his dark humor. Okay. You can tell that McGregor enjoys playing the Black Mask a lot. All right. He's having fun with it. And his weird tirades about things and just the mood changes, the instant mood changes that are just at the snap, you know, those are really interesting about the character, but that's it. There's no depth to his character. There's no insight into anything about his past, about why he is the way he is, or anything. He's just there to be the big baddie of the movie. And then you have Victor Zsasz, who I can't remember the actor's name, who plays Victor Zsasz, but the clue, there's usually clues when you see a comic book related thing, especially if you know some things about the character. The fact that he had scars all over him should have given me a clue that he was Victor Zsasz. I still didn't know the guy was Victor Zsasz until someone called him Zsasz. I'm like, oh shit, that is Victor Zsasz because he's got fucking scars all over him. Okay. But before that, I couldn't tell because I don't think that this is a proper incarnation of Victor Zsasz. The Victor Zsasz that I like a lot, besides in the Arkham video games, is the one that's portrayed on the show Gotham. That guy who plays him, he's the bald albino guy that's on Barry. He plays Victor Zsasz amazingly great. I loved him on Gotham, even though Gotham, shit ton of problems we'll get into another time. But yeah, that's Victor Zsasz. This guy, he was just there. Oh yeah, I'm Victor Zsasz, by the way. No, I don't think you are. So that's the problem with that guy. When it comes to the Birds of Prey themselves, when you've got Huntress, who is played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who, strangely enough, Ewan McGregor left his wife to be with her after filming Fargo, by the way. So it's kind of odd that both of them are in this movie together. Little wink thing going on or something. Or it could just be coincidence, but I don't. Her as Huntress, I didn't have a problem with her character because her character made sense. When she would show up, it was just for revenge. And then when she had to actually interact with people, it was awkward. It made sense that it was awkward because they explained that her character was just raised to train and fight to get revenge, and that's it. So she never really truly interacted with people. She's very closed off. So I was fine with her character being the way she was. And she doesn't overtake the film really at all. She just pops in and out, kills someone, and then leaves. Okay, I'm fine with that. But Rosie Perez as Montoya. Until I found out, like by the end of the film and later on, that Montoya is an important character in Birds of Prey, in the actual group, I kept wondering, why the fuck is this movie wasting all of this time on her character, on this cop character who has her following Harley Quinn all over the place? Like, where the fuck is Batman in this entire movie? Okay? She's blowing up factories that could be poisoning, thousands of people, maybe murdering people that might have been working there. All this shit. And fucking Batman or no other, Nightwing, no one shows up? No one? I can understand why Joker didn't show up because, Jared Leto's kind of walked away from it or whatever. But the fact that there's no, how the fuck can you say that this movie's in Gotham, but there's no Gotham stuff involved with it besides Black Mask? It doesn't make sense. And just because there's a picture of Captain Boomerang on the wall at the police station, right? Or there might be other little teeny Easter eggs sprinkled about in the film, still doesn't mean that this is in Gotham. It didn't, I never bought that this movie was in Gotham at all. Not once watching it, except for when the factory got blown up, Joker's factory. So that really bothered me about this movie, is you can call it, being part of the, the Batman world, but it didn't feel like it really at all. Janae Smollett Bell, weird name that her name is Smollett. I wonder if she's related to someone we talked about on Compelled, but she plays Black Canary. And her character gets a little bit of development, but the problem is that her character there's still not much to her. And so every time they show her character, the film feels like it's taking a step back. With every time they show any of these characters who play Birds of Prey in the Birds of Prey, it feels like the film's taking a step back because, like I said, this is a Harley Quinn movie that tries to also be a Birds of Prey movie. And so every time it tries to be Birds of Prey, it fails. But yet the Harley Quinn thing only goes so far as well. So this whole movie ends up failing altogether. That's a huge problem, right? So, and then you had this little kid who plays Cassandra, who she's got a cast on her arm, and she just makes a smart-ass comment here and there. And it's a lazy character. She's a straight up lazy character. She's part of the Birds of Prey as well. And I'm just wondering, what's the point? She just feels like she's a plot device. She's just there to move this diamond around from point A to point B. And that's it. They're like, her character doesn't really do anything except maybe give Harley Quinn someone to question her own morality about. That's it. So, wasted character. Almost all the Birds of Prey are wasted character. All right. The set designs in this movie, really cool. There's some, like when they go to this funhouse near the end of the movie for one of their final battles, it looks really cool. There's a lot of really cool looking stuff that they do with the colors and and everything, but it's not enough. This movie, it's like a Zack Snyder film in a way, where visual flair and visual style is more important than actual storytelling. And we've seen this time and time again, where it doesn't matter how strong your budget is, how much money you throw at it, whatever. If your story is weak, your film is going to ultimately be weak. And like when we just saw Hansel and Gretel, the week before, the story wasn't as strong as it should be, even though the visuals were amazing in that movie, especially on such a low budget. So the movie still needed better writing. If the movie had better writing, it'd be a great film. It'd be possibly could be a top 10 of the year, by the end of the year. But no, instead it's a disappointment overall. So one of the problems with this movie as well is the pacing. Just like this review, this is my pacing. It's the first 15 minutes of Birds of Prey started off amazingly well. Like, I was smiling for the first 15 minutes. It starts off with just Harley Quinn narrating, it's like doing a catch-up where she's catching up with the audience from, the events after Suicide Squad and her breakup with the Joker and all this stuff. And it's fun. They do it in this goofy, cartoony way, and it reminds me of like Teen Titans Go and stuff like that. And it's just goofy. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's full of energy and life. And I'm like, okay, if the whole movie is like this, I'm in. You sold me. Holy shit, DC, you're finally fucking doing a good movie, besides Joker, that's one of those weird out of left field good jobs, but still, I can't see that fitting into anything else that they're doing right now. So with Birds of Prey, it's still connected to the whole Zack Snyder universe. So I was hoping that this movie was going to do that. But right after it hits like the 15-minute mark or whatever, or what it seems like a 15-minute mark, the movie does this thing where it does this time jump. It does this nonlinear time jump where it's like, oh, well, let me explain all this stuff. So then it goes backwards and the movie just dipped big time in pace. It just slows down. Like, how do you go from 150 miles an hour on fucking meth to a snail's crawl? It's just bad pacing, and it fucks with you because the movie keeps doing it. Fast, slow down, fast, slow down. Eventually the engine's going to blow and then the car's going to die. And that's what this movie ends up doing it'll try to bump things up with another fight scene. And then the fight scenes themselves actually got worse over time as well. Sure, there's well coordination, but how many more times can you see a fucking slow-mo of her kicking someone from behind and they do a backflip and then land on their neck or their ass or whatever? Where is the good timing with this? Where is the good choreography? Where is the planning other than the fact that, oh, hey, we're just putting a bunch of women on the screen and calling them Birds of Prey and, this is it. These are new heroines. I need more than that. Sorry. I need more, And look, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but there's also plenty of male ensemble comic hero films as well that don't do a good job. So this isn't the only one. This one, though, is under a different kind of microscope, though, because we're going through this women's empowerment, thing right now. And so, yeah, I'm noticing this shit. So there's ones that do it good. There's ones that do it good. And then there's ones that just drag their ass. Well, Birds of Prey drags its ass on a lot of parts because it doesn't know what the hell it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be a Harley Quinn movie. Doesn't know if it wants to be Birds of Prey. Doesn't know if it wants to be part of the DC universe or not. Doesn't even know if Batman should even be mentioned. And that's the problem with this movie, is that it doesn't know where it stands when it's all said and done. So, do I recommend seeing Birds of Prey? If you are a huge Harley Quinn fan, yes, absolutely go see it. If you are a huge DC fan, go see it. But don't have high expectations. Just don't. There's some fun here. It's not a complete waste of time. It isn't. There's always something redeemable in every movie that I see, that we see. There's always something. And this movie has bouts. It has plenty of little bouts, okay? But no Batman. Not enough. Well, no Joker. That was fine. Where's the other fucking hyena? There's only one hyena. There's supposed to be 2 goddamn hyenas. That bugged me. All right. I know that's piddly shit, but is it piddly shit? So this movie bothers me. And I don't even think I want to own this and add it to my DC collection. And I still haven't bought Aquaman. I still haven't bought Shazam because I don't want to add those to my collection either. I shouldn't even have bought Suicide Squad, but I already own it. So whatever. But this movie, I don't want it to be a companion piece. So if you like DC movies and you like the direction that they've been going, fucking idiot if you do, but whatever, to each his own. If you like it, go see Birds of Prey. Otherwise, wait for it to come out on video. And that's all I got to say about that. That's just your opinion.